Welcome to the Wrestling Nerds Alliance podcast, featuring Robb English, Clifford L. Johnson,
Okay, we are back again with another episode, and boy, this one better be a little bit happier, because last week I wanted to shoot myself in the fucking face.
I also wanted to shoot you in the fucking face.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
I'm Robb English,
I'm Clifford L. Johnson.
and we are the Wrestling Nerds Alliance. Cliff, how you doing today, buddy?
I am doing excellent. You sound way too happy right now.
Why?
Like, you sound abnormally happy.
Abnormally happy? Probably because I'm trying to make up for last week's show.
You sound like a white guy trying to sound like a white guy.
Hey, guys! Hey, everybody! Boy, what do you think of that Seinfeld show?
We are ready and we are going in.
Yeah. You guys catch Seinfeld the other day? I love those reruns. King of Queens. It's my show. No, last week was a downer beginning of the show.
It was. Because, I mean,
like
you gotta, when you let go of family, you know?
And that's what we did.
Hard, man. It's hard.
Let go of family. But we didn't let him go. He chose to go. Don't make it... See, I don't want people thinking that we told Ed to get the fuck out.
True.
But,
Very
you know, usually when somebody follows us on Twitter, I'm like, hey, thanks for the follow. Here's a link to our latest show. Give it a listen. Do you know how, like, bummed out I was to send those links out this week?
I know. Yeah, it kind of
Because I'm like, dude, they're going to listen. They're going to be like, this is the saddest thing ever.
Like, no.
I can never listen to this
What was
again.
really cool? The fact that the people were just as sad as we were.
Yes.
I thought that was actually pretty cool.
You know, people like, damn, Ed's gone, you know,
Yeah.
and they were showing him a lot of love on Twitter. And Ed, you know, as I said last week, does not use social media. So he got on Twitter today, almost a full week after, and saw all the well wishes and things like that and was responding. And it was funny because I was reading it and I could hear Ed getting a little choked up in his tweets.
You could taste the tears through the screen.
Taste the sorrow.
Oh shit!
His deep voice got real high, and he's like, "You man,
I just
poor guy from Michigan. You owe like $1 million, RJ."
Oh man,
That's okay. We love Ed, and he's gonna be back soon. When you know, we try to get questions for our show each week. He responded with, "Hey, ask them when I'm coming back. They'll love that one."
Soon.
No, you're not coming back.
Soon.
Soon.
But, I was getting ready to have a horrible segue.
Don't do that.
Oh,
I do. Wait. Before we get into another depressing subject,
Yeah.
I do want to say one thing. A couple weeks ago, I, as a few people pointed out on Twitter, eviscerated Craig J. Dixon from the Wretched Wrestling Podcast.
You did? You cut him right at the balls there?
Cut him right at the balls. You know, cut a nice little 15-minute promo on the boy, and he was shamed. He was very shamed. So shamed they didn't even do an episode that week.
Damn, son.
That's what happens.
Damn.
When you come at me. You catch some horns, bitch.
Are we issuing an apology or on behalf of the WNA?
Well, here's the thing. They did a show this past week.
Uh-huh.
And Craig tried to retell the story that I told.
Oh, from his own perspective.
From his own perspective.
Mm-hmm.
But
Leaving
the
out
birdie,
all of the ball swinging.
all the ball swinging, all the bitch feelings, all that stuff. He took those out and he kind of made it more like, Jerry Lawler was his buddy. They had pancakes together the next morning. But
we had breakfast.
He let me wear the crown and sit on his lap.
Wow.
But the birdie that told me the story, sorry, I hit the mic there. So a giant ginger bird, let's leave it at that. I tend to believe that story. And my story was far more entertaining. So fuck all that. But they did continue to challenge us to a showdown at Survivor Series, which we will meet said challenge.
Gonna be a tag team match now?
I guess so. It's gonna be the sex and violence team of the Wrestling Nerds Alliance taking on Calypso and Johnny Shotgun. Whatever their backyard wrestling names were. Survivor Series. And we might get a run in from Ed, although I did hear that he was planning a trip to New York. He's going to come out like Hogan at Bash at the Beach and drop the leg on us.
That would be awesome if he did.
And join the Wretched Wrestling crew. Do you know how much I would shit on myself?
Right.
If we're watching the live feed while we're talking to these guys and Ed just, hey, fellas.
Hey, guys.
So you want to know why I quit the show? Quit the show because I'm on a new show.
Right. Fucker. Then
it would
if
be
that
sad.
happens, I take back all the good things I said about you.
Well, speaking of good things, not a good development, but good things that need to be said about this person, as if you weren't saying them beforehand. Let's talk about Bobby the Brain Heenan. The brain. Bobby Heenan passed away on Sunday, and he was 73 years old. And he had been battling cancer for some time. Not in the best of health, but he had been battling it for a long time. I want to say it was almost like 15 years he was battling. Multiple surgeries and things like that. I believe it was, and I feel horrible even saying it because I don't have it in front of me. I can't recall if it was mouth or tongue or, I believe it was mouth cancer or jaw cancer, something along those lines. But he, had extreme difficulty speaking due to surgeries over the last several years, which in many ways is a damn shame for somebody like Bobby Heenan, who made a living being the fucking funniest guy in the room, best on the mic, somebody with such a quick wit and a sharp tongue, to be unable to really speak over the last few years is just heartbreaking. But Bobby Heenan will forever go down, in my opinion, and you may feel otherwise, but in my opinion, the greatest manager of all time and the greatest color commentator of all time.
Some severely deep trouble. You're talking about how my whole life I've geared everything to tear down Hulkamania. I've done everything I can to destroy you. You know something, Hogan? You are 100% correct. I will not sleep, I will not eat, I will not rest until I am the manager of the heavyweight champion of the world. And you're out of professional wrestling. Now, I don't care if you're sweeping streets, if you're cleaning subways or if you're in a field someplace or institutionalized for the rest of your life for the terminally bewildered because your mind is gone. I don't care about you. I can't stand you. Matter of fact, I hate you. Now, those are pretty strong words.
When he passed, I, tweeted from my personal account. I tweeted from the WANA account, and I also posted on our Facebook page. No one was ever better. No one ever will be. And me personally, I said, growing up, kids always wanted to be Hulk Hogan or the Ultimate Warrior or the hero. Not me. Not me at all. I grew up wanting to be Bobby the Brain Heenan. Because without a entertaining and engaging villain, the hero's just a guy. And Bobby Heenan was that character for me. He was hysterical. He was devious. He was the perfect foil for Hulk Hogan and, the heroes of the WWF back in the day, because he was just this jerk. But he was so smart. But at the same time, he was so dumb. And you loved him for it. You loved to hate Bobby Heenan. And to me, that's who I wanted to be. It wasn't the fact that Bobby Heenan always won. He really ever didn't. But it was just the character and the fact that he was willing to do whatever it took to entertain everybody and be the butt of the joke. That's what I always thought was awesome, and why, in many ways, growing up, I kind of tried to be that guy with all of my friends. And, whenever I would meet somebody new, it was more like, it's easier to get people to get engaged with you if you can crack a joke. If you can, maybe you're the lovable asshole, I guess is the best way to put it. And Bobby Heenan was just amazing. Bobby Heenan was the greatest. You know what I mean? There's no other way to put it. And I was extremely bummed when I saw that he passed away.
Yeah, I was. I think I was at work when I saw the news, and it was just like, damn. Like when you hear about wrestlers dying or wrestlers passing, then or managers, anybody that's in the business that you've grown up admiring your whole life, it's always something that takes you aback. It was crazy to see that news pop up. I mean, I know that he's been battling cancer for quite some time, and actually the last time that I had saw him was on I think he was at like a convention signing autographs and stuff, and you could just tell that he was just like, he just wasn't doing well, and you can see see what the damage that the tongue cancer had done and all the surgeries and stuff. And, he would try to speak, and, it was just extremely difficult for him. So it was, I know that has to be something difficult to deal with. Like you said, to have something removed that you have basically built your entire legacy on. But to see that he was still strong and still fighting all the way up to the end is motivating and inspiring. And I'm glad that he was able to live. I mean, he was 72, I think.
73.
72, 73, yeah. So he was, definitely he lived a long life and a fulfilling life, and sad to see him go, but definitely need to show respect and mad props to one of the best to ever do it.
You listen to me, you go to the top. You don't listen to me, you're never heard from again.
You know, we'll move on in a moment and kind of, you know, I don't want to start the show off with another depressing bit of news, but I wanted to share a personal story that I had. I did have the opportunity to meet Bobby Heenan one time. I went to a local indie show. God, it was probably, oh, I'm not sure now. It was definitely after he was inducted in the WWE Hall of Fame, because he was still having a little bit of trouble speaking, but he wasn't in the same condition that he was before he passed. But I went to this indie show specifically because I saw that he was going to be there. I went with a friend who watched wrestling, but you know, wasn't a massive fan like I was, and just kind of went, you know, had somebody to go with. And when I saw that Bobby Heenan was going to be there, I was like, well, this is my chance to, you know, get an autograph from the guy, you know, and I'm not a big autograph guy, but I wanted Bobby Heenan's autograph. You know what I mean? And, you know, maybe even have a chance to tell him, hey, you know, like I said just a moment ago, I didn't want to be Hulk Hogan. I wanted to be you. So we went, and kind of the intermission, and then they announced that Bobby was going to be signing autographs, and he was at the table over there, waited in line, got up there, you know, paid my money, got the 8x10, got him to sign it, and I said, you know, Mr. Heenan, it's a real pleasure to meet you. This is, you know, you're somebody who has been a big part of my childhood growing up, and I just wanted to tell you, everybody else wanted to be Hulk Hogan growing up. They always wanted to be the hero, but I always wanted to be Bobby Heenan because you were entertaining, you were fun to watch, and Hulk Hogan would have just been a guy if it wasn't for you. And I said, so you in many ways have been a hero to me. And without missing a beat, he looked at me and he goes, what the hell's the matter with you? And I laughed because, you know, it's Bobby Heenan, you know. I was like, well, you know, I can't help it. He goes, well, I know I'm, you know, I'm one of the smartest people in the room. He says, but I'm your hero. Get out of here.
Humble, very humble.
And I, you know, thanked him, and you know, I said, no, it means a lot to me to meet you, and you know, I kind of wanted to tell you that. And he said, well, I appreciate that, thanks. And he reached his hand out like he was going to shake my hand, and I reached forward to shake his hand, and then he kind of does the, oh, and then he reaches up and he rubs his nose real quick with that hand, and then puts his hand back out. And I just kind of stopped and I went, Bobby. And he laughs and he goes, you're smarter than you look, kid.
That's awesome.
So, you know, it was one of those.
Why didn't I know about this show?
Were you in Chicago at that point?
That was 2011. I went to Chicago in 2011.
Oh, it was before that.
It was probably like 06, 07. I was probably doing some rapidy rap street justice.
Probably.
Somewhere.
But yeah. So, you know, it was one of those cool moments where, you know, they always tell you, don't ever try to meet your heroes because you might get disappointed. Well, that was a moment where, you know, the guy I met was in many ways the guy that I saw on TV all the time. And it was a, you know, a pretty cool moment for me being such a huge wrestling fan and loving Bobby Heenan as much as I did, that I got to have that brief little moment. So when I saw that he passed, that moment came popping back into my head, and it was like, well, you know what? I doubt he remembers me at all. I wouldn't expect him to. But at least me, you know, I got to have that moment, and it's one that I can, you know, remember and look back on fondly. But do yourself a favor. You have the WWE Network. go binge on Bobby Heenan. Binge on him and Gorilla Monsoon. Calling primetime wrestling and things like that. Do yourself a favor and go watch the '92 Royal Rumble when Ric Flair won the world title. Bobby Heenan was his manager and was just called one of the greatest color commentary jobs ever during that Rumble match, because every time Flair was in trouble or any time that he was on the offensive, Bobby's emotions would go back and forth, and it's absolutely hysterical. So go out of your way and watch that, and, pay your respects to one of the greatest of all time.
For the record, Bobby was not a color commentator. He was a broadcast journalist.
That's correct. Thank you. That's correct.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace to the legend.
Absolutely.
I have a question about that before we move on.
Sure.
Do you think that we may possibly get some sort of Bobby Heenan Classic?
What are you talking, like a tournament for color commentators?
No. Dummy. Talking about something just to pay homage to him.
Like a tournament?
Like a King of the Ring or a, something that, because they're doing, I don't know if we're going to get to that at some point. Do you want to talk about some other stuff? But
yeah, they're bringing some stuff back. Let's jump ahead to that real quick before we get into all the stuff that came out of Raw and SmackDown this week. You're talking about the fact that they're bringing back Starrcade.
That is correct.
Yes.
I figure that'd be a pretty good segue.
It would be. Obviously, Bobby is more well known for his tenure in WWF/E, but he was a part of WCW for many years. And WWE is going to hold a live event and call it Starrcade in Greensboro, North Carolina.
I might just try to make it to that.
Is that close enough for you?
Yeah, North Carolina's not that far from me.
Okay. They're kind of doing a bit of a super card, but it's a live event. So to me, I'm thinking, well, damn, son, put that on the network.
Right, definitely. If they put the damn Roadblock specials and the Japan special on there, they might as well.
Especially now that it's getting a lot of buzz online.
For sure.
Maybe you do. Maybe you have a not necessarily a tournament, but maybe a match where somebody wins, like a trophy or something, the Bobby Heenan Memorial Trophy.
Right.
I know that they're talking about doing a special. They're doing some interviews right now. That they're going to do like a special on the network for Bobby Heenan, like a tribute show or something like that. But yeah, I mean, that in some ways could make some sense. But when it was announced that Starrcade was coming back, some people were not happy.
Yeah. Rubbed a couple people the wrong way.
Yeah. In particular, Cody Rhodes and Brandy Rhodes were not happy that Starrcade was coming back.
Not at all.
Cody, or I should say Brandy, Cody's wife, made mention on Twitter that, you had the opportunity to bring back Starrcade and things like that years ago when Dusty was still here. But now that he's gone, you want to do it. Cody in particular went on Twitter and said, hey, if you're at least going to use my dad's concept, book Goldust on the damn show.
Right.
Because apparently it's going to be like a SmackDown show, and, Goldust is on Raw. Which, not long after that, because Cody tweeted Michael P.S. Hayes when he said that on Twitter, Michael Hayes responded and said, "You're right. We probably should put Goldust on the show. What are you doing that night, Cody? Do you want to tag with your brother?" And Dustin is pushing for it online.
Yeah, I saw that tweet he sent the other day. Was it yesterday or today?
I believe it was yesterday.
Yeah,
and I think he even said it again today.
Yeah, about the brothers versus the brothers, the Hardys versus the Rhodes. That would be
Count
pretty
me
freaking
in,
sweet.
man. I'd fucking watch that.
Hell yeah. Get Cody back for one night. And if they start doing shit like that, the respect that I have for the WWE would grow even larger.
Yeah, man.
Like that would be, not only it would be awesome just for nostalgia purposes and, see the Rhodes dynasty back and for them to give their pops, proper respect and all that. But to also know that they would be willing to do a deal, even if it's a one-off, like they do with any other random celebrity. They'll do a one-off with, The Rock or, Floyd Mayweather or Ronda Rousey, whoever's, popping at the time. Why not do one with the Ring of Honor World Champion?
Makes sense. I mean, you can bring in people from outside the company for tournaments and things like that. Why not try it for something like this? What I thought was funny is even the Hardys got in on it, and Matt Hardy on Twitter said, "Yeah, Cody, come with Dustin and face us at Starrcade, and bring the Young Bucks with you. I owe them."
Man, they are just talking. But if any of this gets close to being true, that would be fucking incredible.
I just don't like that the Hardys keep working everybody on Twitter, and let me drop just one little wonderful to make everybody go, "Oh, it's happening! It's happening!" And then nothing fucking happens.
Yeah, it's a slow burn.
Slow.
It's a very slow burn.
Slow burn. So do you think that with them bringing back Starrcade, maybe they should try to bring back other WCW concepts or pay-per-views?
Not really.
No?
Because I don't really think of anything besides maybe Halloween Havoc.
Yeah.
Maybe. That may be
Havoc.
the only one that I would like mark out for. Everything else is kind of
Triple Cage, Halloween Havoc.
Yeah, right. Everything else is just like I don't know. Great American Bash. They tried to do that, wasn't very successful. And anything else has just been sold out. Let's see, how many WCW pay-per-views can we name?
Well, I'll tell you which one I want brought back.
What?
You're going to bring back concepts and things like that.
War Games?
No. I want Capital Combat Return of RoboCop. That's what I want.
Ridiculous. I actually would like War Games.
Well, they kind of have it with the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, but it's not the same. With the 3 rings and all the craziness.
You mean World War III, the 60-man...
Is that what that was?
Battle Royal, yeah. With the 3 rings.
Yeah, that's what I
mean.
mean.
20, 20, and 20.
Yeah.
And then like the final 5 or 10 or something like that from each ring meet up in the final ring. And then those 30 men go at it, and whoever's the last one standing gets a world title shot that half the time they never gave them.
True. That's the one I meant. Good job.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Robbie Sandow.
Thank you. I am your intellectual savior. That's what I am. At least in my mind, I believe that.
Yeah.
Do you want to recap anything from Raw right now? I mean, there's only a few things that I feel we need to recap.
We can. I mean, since we're already talking about the Rhodes family, we might as well talk about young Dustin.
That's right. Dustin wrestled. Dustin Rhodes wrestled. Sans makeup, but still wearing Goldust gear.
Which was kind of weird, but all right.
I prayed when I knew that Dustin Rhodes was going to be wrestling that either he came out to Dusty's theme, but the theme I really wanted him to come out to was his WCW theme when he was the natural Dustin Rhodes. Call him the natural. That's what I wanted to hear.
That would have been.
But it didn't happen.
It did not. He
Not.
still got his ass kicked by.
It was a quick ass match too.
Yep.
Like, give Dustin a little bit. Come on.
But maybe this will give him a little bit of it gets him on TV and it gives him a little more time. The one thing I will say about that is that when he's Goldust, you can't really tell how old he is. But when he's Dustin,
Because all the makeup, yeah. He looked a little-
you can see the years of frustration and angst on his face.
That's where you're reaching to, huh? Frustration and angst.
Yeah.
How about the fact that he's been wrestling for 29 years,
Exactly.
but he could still go?
He can still go. Yeah. But yeah, that was pretty it was cool just to see though. To see him be able to be himself, quote unquote. But we shall see what happens going forward. And I think I was going to tweet something about that right after it happened last week when he got his makeup smeared or whatever. But I didn't do it. I was going to say they better do something with Dustin after this. But I ended up deleting the tweet for some odd reason. I don't know why.
You bitched out.
No, I don't think it was that. I just think when you try to write something and it just doesn't sound as clever as you thought it was when you had it in your brain.
That 140 character limit gets you.
Yeah. I was just like, I can't. Nope.
That's been my biggest problem with Twitter. I am a long-winded motherfucker.
You are. We've known this for years.
And when I get up there, I'm like, I got something to say. And then I'm like, what? 245 characters?
But I've got more things to say.
Shit.
And then you don't want to shorten your words. You know you can do that, right? You
Can't.
type like you are instead of your.
No, I can't do that.
But you don't want to do that. You want to type in full grammatically correct sentences.
This is
Not
correct.
what Twitter is used for.
With punctuation.
Son. Shorthand.
With punctuation.
We don't need commas and periods. We just
quotations.
Need words.
Hyphens.
Letters. You can leave vowels out. You don't need that shit. People will figure it out.
Yeah, one day.
Yeah. We'll get you some Twitter lessons.
Okay.
That's how you can tell when either one of us is on the W&A handle.
Yeah. If it's Cliff.
Concise.
There's barely any capitalization.
Damn right.
Say the word I as in referring to yourself and it's always lowercase.
First of all, never.
Bullshit.
No fucking way.
But I will dig through after we are done recording and I will start screenshotting them motherfuckers and send them to you.
Son. That's one thing I do not do is lowercase i's. That shit bugs the fuck out of me. That might be Ed.
Ed doesn't know how to use Twitter.
Exactly. Speaking of somebody who doesn't know how to use Twitter, Roman Reigns. I don't know if he knows how to use Twitter, but I thought that would be cool.
Oh, wow, that was a genius segue. I don't Twitter so good. Because I'm the big dog.
Right. I eat
big
birds.
Dog, big hands, busting zippers. Fucking Roman Reigns came out and cut another promo on Cena.
Which,
more.
I predicted would happen again.
Correct.
This week. Today was Roman's time to win.
Hashtag Cliff called it.
Right. Wow.
And Roman had, it was your shoot promo, I believe he said shit. And they bleeped it.
Yep.
Ooh.
Used some profanities.
Settle down, Roman.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. I would boo this too. John Cena might be the best talker ever. The guy can run his mouth and he can spin it, but the thing is, sometimes he says stupid.
Speaking of shit, he dropped Alex Riley's name.
Now that
I
was
liked
pretty
Alex
fucking
Riley.
funny.
Come on now.
I
I'm just
did.
fucking with it.
Well, shit, you are Alex Riley.
Fuck you.
You put on a varsity jacket right now.
I don't know.
Like, hey, is that Alex Riley's dad?
Okay, can we name all the wrestlers that you guys have said I am over the years? Is it just white guy with dark hair and
much.
that's Rob?
You
Alex
were
Riley.
You were Alex Riley. You were Sean O'Hare.
When I had the
were
tips, the
Edge.
frosted tips.
Yep.
Edge, yeah, it was Edge.
You were
But Edge is blonde.
Yeah, but he had that the
chin.
lower bottom jaw and anger
Yep.
management problems.
Yep.
You eventually became who was the guy on was it Mark Jindrak?
No.
Let's see who else.
You say Trevor Murdoch, I'm gonna slap the shit out of you.
No. No, Garrison Cade.
Cade. Why?
What do you mean why?
I never was a cowboy.
Big country
Never had
fed-
long hair.
Country fair white boy?
Nah. The only one that I will own up to because of our facial similarities, Shane McMahon.
It definitely Shane McMahon. You are the bastard child of Shane McMahon. for sure.
Shane McMahon came out. I was watching SmackDown earlier, and I laughed because I was like, God damn, if I could grow hair, I could pass for Shane McMahon right now. If I shaved off the beard and grew hair, same fucking everything. I'm like, God damn, they were dead on.
Here comes the money.
But yeah,
Wait,
no,
he ain't
Roman,
got no money.
he made the Alex Riley comment, all the backstage rumors that Alex Riley and John Cena were once boys, and then Riley crossed him, and Cena saw to it that Alex Riley's push and momentum in the company was dead. And then he was a commentator. Then he went back in the ring, got himself injured, got himself released.
Yep.
Hey, but he was on Glow.
Hey, you had a pretty good role on Glow. Speaking of Glow, when are we gonna have our fucking Glow episode, dude? It's way
What?
past due.
Bro, Glow, they're about to make season 2 now.
Exactly. That's why I said it's past due.
Then we will do a special episode for Glow. Just as we wanted to do a special episode for the Mae Young Classic.
Yeah.
Just as I want to do special episodes recapping old pay-per-views and talking about the news about that. We just need to find the time, motherfucker.
Yeah, well, time I ain't got. I don't wear a watch, so I don't have the time.
Wow,
Yes.
that's deep.
Ain't it, though? Thanks, honey. Appreciate that. Coming soon to a t-shirt near you.
You want to, get up and make her a meal or something?
Nope. Already did that.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
Right.
Bitch.
Speaking of time, there was this
How are
one
you
time.
gonna wait? Wait. I'm waiting. How are you going to work this into the segue for what we're talking about next?
Got it, right? Speaking of
Yep.
time, there was this one time where Kurt Angle had an illegitimate son, and that son eventually won a 6-pack challenge to become #1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship.
My God, I remember that time. That was Monday. That was yesterday. That was Jason Jordan
Uh-huh.
winning that 6-pack challenge against Jeff and Matt Hardy, Elias, Curtis Axel, and the hillbilly hitman Bo Dallas. Bo Dallas looking
Dallas.
every bit of fucking 70s pimp.
What is he doing?
I don't know, but I
He's
love
just-
it.
I don't know what generation he is or what decade or what era he's pulling from, but
He's like a cross between Hunter S. Thompson from Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas and the villain from Enter the Dragon.
it's a lot.
You know,
It's a lot to deal with.
Curtis Axel coming out looking like $1 million, and Bo Dallas, I mean,
Looking like he owes him $1 million.
crawled out of the dumpster at a Men's Warehouse.
Not even a Men's Warehouse, a Burlington coat factory.
But yeah, Jason Jordan, they're trying to build him up to take on Miz at No Mercy.
Yeah, which I think they're kind of stop, stall, start. All right, let's resume this push. See what we can do with him. I think he got kind of derailed once they start keeping a mic in his hand. And they're like, yeah, let's just not do a lot of that and let's let him go out there and wrestle some good matches. Let's just focus on his strengths for right now. And then
But then he cut that promo against Miz.
Yeah, and it wasn't.
I'm gonna knock your teeth out.
It wasn't that great, but it wasn't long though. So
You know what? Can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
Put Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel in this match tonight. That way, you can't make any excuses when I face you for that.
Miz needs to work some of his magic to help Jason Jordan.
he does. But what I will say about The Miz is once again, Cliff called it because every week I feel like, maybe I'm just clairvoyant, but I feel like somebody from the WWE is listening to our show and they're taking my ideas and they're implementing them on television weekly.
Yep, that's happening.
It's not?
Nope.
Okay, so the week before when I said the women should be main eventing Raw, what happened?
Somebody had a similar idea.
Okay, and what was that similar idea?
Have the women main event Raw. It wouldn't be the
Thank
first
you.
time.
All right, moving on.
Wouldn't be the first time.
It would not be the first time, but it would be the first time in a long time. Uh-huh. Thank you. Next time last week I said The Miz with the Intercontinental Championship should be featured in the main event of Raw. And what happened yesterday?
I believe Miz was in the main event of Raw.
Okay, moving on. Thank you so much. Moving on. I have nothing further to say, Your Honor.
Yeah, I don't either.
The court is adjourned. Guilty
What am I guilty of?
of being a biatch.
Did you ever get your power back?
Yeah, my power's been back since it was only out for a couple of hours, actually. Like 12 hours.
So, did they ever determine the cause? Was it you?
Yes, it was me. It was the friction and the EMP
Dragging your
from all the weight.
72-pound cock behind you?
Yeah. The carpet had a very long, burn, streak mark in it.
Running in fear.
Yeah.
It's thunder!
And it was kind of zigzagged all throughout. So it kind of it built up this tolerance. And then once I broke the stream there, that's actually when the EMP happened.
I thought you were going to say you started to calm down and you realized that you were hungry and you reached into your silverware drawer and grabbed a spoon and the shock went off. Woo, I need some ice cream. This storm
Speaking of
is
shock,
fucking me up. Oh, look at you.
Shocking return. That was actually pretty good.
You like that?
That was pretty good.
Teed up.
The shocking return.
Bailey.
Did you just try to steal my thunder there?
There's no thunder to be stolen. This is my show.
Wow. Okay.
That's right.
Okay.
Changing the title.
Wow. Robb and them.
No, Robb and them. And that's exactly how it's going to be spelled. Robb and Nem. Robb and Nem. Yeah. No, Bailey returned out of nowhere.
Like an RKO.
Yeah.
And how happy are you about that?
I wanted to be really happy. I really did. But they've just, I don't know, man. I don't know what they've been doing to Bailey and what I just can't.
She hasn't been gone long enough for you to want to welcome her with a queen's return?
I mean,
fanfare and trumpets.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Your dreams
I don't know how I feel
will
about it. I mean,
together.
I've been a Bailey fan, but I do feel like, I mean, she's definitely for the babies and whatnot.
They've just taken so much momentum away from her.
Yeah, by the whole making her a 8-year-old child thing.
There was no chasing of the title. She basically got it right away. And
yeah.
And then when she was champion, oh, I don't really deserve this, but I'll take it anyway.
I'll take it. Thanks. Like, okay.
And then you have her acting like a bitch.
Right, for 2 months.
You know?
And
I don't know
like
how to hurt anybody with this kendo stick.
Yeah, so say not like a bitch, like a mean, crabby, like, get the fuck away from me, bitch. But like a crybaby, whiny, scary.
Doesn't know what to do.
Hurt you, bitch. No offense.
Oh, they know I didn't mean it that way.
Or offense.
You know? The ladies listening to the show know I didn't mean it that way. They know when I say stuff like that. I'm a champion of women.
You are a champion of the pro vagina class.
You go back and listen to previous episodes. Who's the one? It ain't Clifford L.
It was you.
It damn sure wasn't Ed. Champion. Basically have ovaries.
Wow. Well, that was new.
I just lost all my credit.
I was gonna say, so Ed has
right now,
tits and you have ovaries.
All them women that were like, Robb's the best, are now like, fuck that guy.
Right, Robb's a bitch.
Robb's a bitch.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
Speaking of bitches.
I'm about to start bitching right now. Because we're about to start talking about something on SmackDown. Something that's still bothering me. And I didn't think about it when we were talking about it last week. I thought about it a few days after, and I was like, fuck, I should have said it last week, but I'm saying it now. Okay. WWE is in the midst of a concussion lawsuit. WWE has had numerous performers that they have forced into retirement due to concerns for excessive or repeated concussions. Corey Graves, Christian, Daniel Bryan. Okay? They will not let Daniel Bryan return to a ring. Now, I'm not trying to sound like Mr. Fanboy, like, oh, Daniel Bryan's the greatest. He needs to be back. But the guy wants to get back in the ring. He's going to get back in the ring, whether you let him or not. When he leaves the company, he's gonna go back in the ring.
Somebody's ring.
So why wouldn't you just make that money now and fucking let him sign whatever he's got to sign? Let him show you what documentation he has to prove that he feels like he's well enough. The approval from outside doctors. If he's got it, go with it. Make the guy fucking sign a waiver or something saying you can't sue us. But you have all of this going on, and fucking Vince McMahon tells KO, fucking lay that shit in, son.
Lay it in there, pal.
And give me the most massive headbutt, and it was a headbutt with like 4 T's on it. and just straight up drill me in the forehead with all this shit going on. To make it worse, just before he went out for that segment, who did they show him backstage chatting with? Daniel Bryan. So, like, you got Daniel Bryan now. He was in a video with Brie where they were like, oh, we had a training video for Brie that we were forced to take down because I was taking bumps in the video. And they can't have footage of me taking bumps because of, reasons.
Because WWE.
There you go. So I just wanted to touch on that because I didn't get a chance to last week.
Mm-hmm. Well, moving on.
Moving on. You know what I want to move on to?
What's that?
Because I was watching SmackDown earlier, and I put this down on the outline only for the reason that I wanted to point out. While I'm not a Jinder Mahal fan, I'm a fan of his entrance music.
His entrance music is pretty hard.
What the fuck they're saying, but I'm like, yeah.
You got bars behind that. Indian bars.
Right. Got bars. Shar, big dar, dar. It's not a, no.
Yep.
Nope. Speaking of races, that's the kind of promos he's cutting.
Yeah, what the fuck is up with that?
All them promos are just like, making fun of the way Shinsuke looks. And he fucking made a goddamn Godzilla joke. And he was talking about, like, you guys think that, Chinese people eat cat today on SmackDown. He's not Chinese, he's Japanese.
He's Japanese, right. It's just like, wait.
He made a Mr. Miyagi joke and the crowd started chanting, "That's too far. That's too far." And to try to recover, he goes, well, if you think that's too far, wait until you hear what I have to say in my language of Punjabi.
Oh, man. Maybe this will actually get Jinder over.
What, just telling racist jokes?
Just being a racist.
Being a horrible racist in the ring. He's basically pulling my line. Hey, I can say that.
Because I'm Indian.
Because I'm Indian.
Because technically he's Asian.
Right. Talking about my fellow man. I just want to know who came up with it. So basically, Jinder, what we're going to do to build to Hell in a Cell is...
We're going to turn you into a racist.
We're going to turn you into a racist. You're going to be an Indian that hates Japanese people. Cool? All right, get out there.
All right, get out there.
Cut that promo. Picky shar dar, picky dart. I was just imagining him walking to the ring thinking what he was going to say. That's why the music was going. Fucking the Singh brothers come out and the LED boards that they're standing on and the wall. I'm just thinking of like the fucking, visualizer when you used to watch or like listen to music on your computer and you had Windows Media Player.
Oh, yeah.
And you have the fucking color swirls and shit. That's what it looks like when they come out. I got taken back to like early 2000s listening to Limp Bizkit on my...
And Corn.
Shark dart. That's okay. Let's bring Limp Bizkit back. Bring him back to the WWE. Have them do Jinder's theme song.
They're definitely going to come back when Undertaker comes out of retirement. You know he's going to come back as the American Badass.
Was that right? Am I racist for singing that?
A little bit. But you know what, though? Limp Bizkit did have one of the best promo videos of
Ever.
WWE all time ever. The Rock and Stone Cold.
The fucking My Way video.
Man, every time I watch that shit, I get fucking...
Every time. I probably watched that video on YouTube maybe once every other month or so. Like
For
it pops
sure.
into my head and I go, oh, let me go watch that
Let me
video.
go watch that again. Yeah, definitely. Just one
More
thing that make you blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that was my shit.
and I.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good one.
Was it?
That was a better whiny white guy than I did.
I tried, man. You know, I really tried. I do what I can.
Yeah, I can't even do it.
Yeah, it was bad.
There you go.
Yep.
You know what else is bad? My boy, Two Adorbs Berry
Two
Corbs.
Adorbs.
Moist. Yeah, Two Adorbs Berry Corbs
Silence.
lost again. Ty Dillinger cost him the match. Jumped his ass. He cut a promo afterwards where he was whining about, you know, losing. So it feels like they're setting up a three-way match. Ty, Baron, and AJ at Hell in a Cell. Who wins?
I'm going to go with the perfect 10.
Yeah,
Why not?
you probably should.
Why the fuck not?
You know, it would make sense. But I don't think that's gonna happen. I think it's gonna be moist. Baron Corbin.
What?
You there? Did I
Yeah.
lose you?
Nope. I'm here.
You
You
don't.
start talking about Baron Corbin, and I got really drowsy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, that happens. Or you were just thinking about him dripping all over you.
Nope. Not at all.
Just drippy and wet.
Not
and
one single solitary bit.
drippy.
Not at all.
Moist.
I have a question.
Okay.
Since we are talking about SmackDown and all. Where the fuck is Bobby Roode?
Oh my God. He's the
What,
new
like-
Ty Dillinger.
What?
You know, he's the new
What?
Ty Dillinger.
Yeah,
we
like,
debut him,
The
and then he
fuck?
disappears.
Where the fuck is Bobby Roode? And where the fuck is Mike Kanellis and Maria?
Where's Luke Harper?
Fuck Luke Harper.
Oh, we're about to fight.
I mean, look, Luke Harper's had his time.
No, he
people-
didn't.
Bruh, he's been in the WWE for like 3 years now on the main roster. He's had his time. Mike Kanellis has been there for, what, 3 months, 4 months? Bobby Roode just got called up less than a fucking month ago. And he hasn't been on the show in, what, 3 weeks? I don't get it.
I don't either.
Don't
I
get
don't
it at
either.
all. Was he just doing a dark match? Was that just his fucking like what the hell?
Doesn't make any sense.
Maybe they made a mistake and they were like, "Oh shit, pal, you were supposed to debut on Raw."
Now we got to leave you off TV for 6 weeks so we can re-debut you.
Yeah, like and there's no fucking like no explanation. I want a goddamn explanation.
We'll call him.
You know what? I'm going to, because you know I got the glorious one on speed dial.
Oh, I thought you were just gonna call Stanford.
No, I'm gonna call Bobby himself.
Okay.
You know, glorious people stick together.
Where the Bobby Roode at?
Yeah. When you're glorious, you can do whatever you want. I want an answer, damn it, and I want it now.
Okay, we'll work on that.
Whatever.
Can I ask for something also?
What?
Since we're getting Usos and New Day at Hell in a Cell, can I get it in a cell?
Can you get it? Why the fuck not?
Well, on today's SmackDown, they made it seem like it wasn't going to be.
Who else would be in the fucking cell?
Well, KO and Shane.
Oh, yeah. Will they have more than one?
I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of them having more than one to begin with. But in this case, I'll make an exception.
I make an exception for sure. Because New Day Usos deserve it way more than Shane and KO.
I feel like that would just be the perfect blow off to the feud.
Right. Like, why wouldn't they? That's dumb. They've already had they just had a street fight. So, like, you're going to have another regular match at Hell in a Cell?
Supposedly that's what they are doing, but there's going to be a stipulation that there will be no rematch, no matter winner or loser. This is it. Where I say nay, you can keep that stip, but please put it in a cell.
Right. Why would you not? Let's start a petition.
Let's do it now.
All right. Tweet it out.
You want to? All right. I'm doing it right now. We're going to put it up next to the tell Roman not to wear a chest protector petition.
Yes. Do it. And tell John Cena to change his ring attire to wrestling gear.
Is there a petition for that?
There should be.
Why do you want him in wrestling gear? Why don't you like the jorts?
Because he's a 40-year-old man. Put on some fucking ring gear. You're a wrestler. Wrestle.
Wow.
In wrestling gear.
Some crazy shit.
What'd you do if you saw LeBron James playing basketball in a pair of jorts?
I probably wouldn't think anything of it because I've seen LeBron James do other crazy shit.
Like what?
Like
dunk over two grown men? Yes.
Let me wear 3 headbands so I can pretend like I'm not balding.
That's okay. You know what? Whatever. Speaking of balding, Robb English, everybody.
I'm not balding. I'm already bald.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of bald. Yeah. Oh, would say Aiden English?
Yeah.
The other English. He's definitely balding. Or as I like to call Aiden English, stupid.
I thought you were going to say Elias Light.
I was going to, but then I realized that would be stealing your joke. So.
Diet Elias.
And it wasn't that funny, so I'll let you have it.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
Hung you out to dry there, buddy.
Yeah, see you, fourth wall.
Right. Aiden English, yeah, he's they're basically just taking the heat from Elias and it's like, hey, let's see if we can do that over here.
On SmackDown today, they kind of did a similar entrance for him.
Yeah.
The long shot. Crowd is dark. Mm-hmm. Ring announcer gave like a intro for him, but not the whole like JoJo ring announcement where she seems like she's bothered that she's even got to say his name. Ladies and gentlemen, Elias. No, they cut the for your listening pleasure. They didn't really say that. I'm just, like throwing it out there. They built him up.
That wasn't part of it.
And then he cut like a little promo on Randy Orton. Singing, mind you. And then Randy won. Shocker. But there was a little back and forth where Aiden dropped Randy on the announce table, kind of like Randy did to the Singh brothers.
Little payback?
Little payback. But Randy won.
Of course.
Which then brought out Rusev, who then cut a little promo saying that, losing to you made me look like a fool in front of the people in my home country.
Going into SummerSlam, I was known to be a national hero in my homeland of Bulgaria. But in just 10 seconds, you turned me and my family into a national disgrace.
So I'm going to get my I don't know, what, my standing back. I'm going to get my, confidence back by beating you right now.
He's going to get his revenge.
Ooh, that was... And you made fun of my Elias joke.
Oh, man. I am good.
Rusev came in there and he kicked the shit out of Randy with a single kick.
I was going to say, literally just kicked the shit out of him.
Like, literally, he kicked the shit out of him. Like, right in the face. And pinned him.
He went to the bathroom on himself.
But after he pinned him, he did, like, the whole fucking Kurt Angle, Santino Marella over-the-top excitement and cheering for himself, celebrating his win, and then went backstage and was, I'm finally a hero to my people again. I'm going to go back home. Rusev, number one. Rusev. And the crowd started chanting, Rusev, number one.
Because people are actually getting to see that Rusev
He's fucking funny.
is funny, man. Let him be funny. Like, he can still be a heel. He can be like a Kevin Owens fucking snarky kind of heel. And I know we already have Kevin Owens, but if they're doing two alliances, what can't they do? Two fucking assholes.
Because it wouldn't make sense.
Oh, excuse me. I guess you're right.
You got to make
not making sense
in the wrestling business. And yes, speaking of not making sense, let's talk about Global Force Wrestling right now. Or should I say, Impact Wrestling.
Global Force Wrestling.
Hey, we try to cover a little bit of everything.
All right.
Unfortunately, it seems like whenever we cover Global Force, it's always, what the fuck are they doing?
What the fuck is happening with Global Force Wrestling?
So as we talked about 2 weeks ago, Jeff Jarrett on an indefinite leave of absence.
Quote, unquote.
Yes. Mentioned 2 weeks ago that, there's rumors that this GFW sale isn't exactly done. And wouldn't you know it, as GFW is hyping up their Bound for Glory show that's coming up in Ottawa. Rumored that it was going to be in Toronto, but instead it was in Ottawa. All the promotional material came out, and those GFW letters are missing.
They're gone. They've even changed the hashtag.
That's right. And they're just Impact Wrestling now. Impact Bound for Glory.
And the crazy thing is, right before that, they had, I was watching a promo where Low-Key was confronting John Morrison. They were having their number one contender match. Or, I'm sorry, Johnny Impact. He's like, this ain't AAA, this GFW, bitch. It's just like,
not anymore.
Is it? Is it GFW? Like, are they going to change all of their belts again?
Again, they just got new belts.
And they have Global Force written all over them?
Right.
Oh, man. And, like, how far in advance are they taped?
Oh, man. They're getting ready to unveil this over-the-top network. Like the WWE Network, the Global Wrestling Network. And now they're probably going to have to change that name.
It's going to be the Impact Wrestling Network.
I mean, Jesus. I feel bad for Global Force or Impact and the workers that are there. TNA.
NWA TNA.
NWA. I mean, fucking Bob's Wrestling. I feel bad for them because it seems like whenever they're starting to get some momentum or at least get a foothold into something to where they can try to climb out of this hole, something happens that not only makes a hardcore fan go, why the fuck do I want to watch that? But it makes a casual fan go, wait, who? What? Well, why do I want to change their name every 3 months?
Yeah, how did? Oh, that is so stupid. I can't even imagine how frustrating it is to work for that company.
And there was a media call the other day with Josh Matthews, and they asked him flat out, okay, so we don't see the GFW letters on here. Are you guys not GFW anymore? And he basically said, and I'm paraphrasing, well, look at that poster. It says Impact. That's the brand we're bringing to Ottawa is Impact Wrestling. And after that show, to be determined, as to who we are.
Right, it's GFW. Well, that's Impact until further notice.
Right.
That's crazy.
Another crazy bit of news came out today.
Oh, wait. I was going to set you up a perfect one.
Okay.
I was going to say GFW should just go in a corner somewhere and die.
Don't forget to cut this shit. Because if we have another moment like we did last week where it's like long pause, your dog, long pause, ew, long pause. What were we talking about? Like,
Yeah, I'm not about that going through 2 hours of footage and cutting out the pauses life.
no, so just mark down this moment.
All right, where are we at now? One was 59 seconds, and this one is 59 minutes, 1 minute and 12, or 1 hour and 12 minutes.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Gotcha. And Impact Wrestling should just go in a corner and die.
Well, speaking of dying promotions, fucking what culture pro wrestling might be dead?
No.
Well, I don't know if they're necessarily dead, but they are gutted right now.
What did I miss?
You missed a lot because basically a lot of the driving force behind what culture and the people that everybody knows, 5 of those personalities from what culture are announced today that they are no longer going to be affiliated with the company.
Get the fuck who?
Adam Pacitti, King
No.
Ross, Jack the Jobber, Adam Blampier. I can't think of the other guy.
Not Plumpy.
Yeah.
You're lying. I don't believe
No,
you.
I'm not. Look it up.
Going to the tube right now, you son of a bitch. You make up lies. You make up lies on our show.
Plumpy came out on Twitter and announced though that he put like a logo up. It was a C with a 5 in the middle of it. To join us, so it's got a lot of people thinking that maybe those 5 guys are starting something else.
Is it? Oh, it's 5 of them? Are they the fucking radicals? I don't believe you. Well, I gotta go to my Twitter feed right now.
Look it up. Look it up.
Keep talking while I'm researching.
Oh yeah, let me kill time while you read Twitter.
Do it.
But yeah, I don't know what's going on. It doesn't smell right. I kind of feel like this might be an angle for what culture. But I don't know, man. I don't know. It just I don't know. It's crazy.
What the fuck is this?
You reading it?
C5 shit.
Yep. I mean, I don't know if it's a gimmick. I don't know if it's an angle. But yeah, it's happening.
What? We must announce today that Adam Blompe, Adam Pacitti, Ross Sweato, Sam Driver, and Jack King will be leaving Walt Culture in the coming weeks to pursue other projects.
Yeah, sorry to break it to you in the middle of the show, buddy.
What? That's literally like the only reason I go on YouTube is to watch Walt Culture.
Yeah, well, looks like you're just gonna have to follow them to whatever else they're doing. I mean, that's really all we can talk about when it comes to that because we don't know what's going on.
What the hell is going on? He's got his,
If it's dead,
his
if
banner's
it's
blacked out, and it just has this join us 8 hours ago. And that's the last thing he said. It's got to be like some sort of.
I would hope it's an angle, but I don't know.
All right. You know what's so crazy? I'm more upset about that than I am of anything that is happening with GF Impact.
GF Impact. That's a good name. Maybe that's the Global Force Impact promotion. The 6-sided ones. Yeah. Sorry, man. I just,
wait, so
sorry.
no more what just happened?
Probably not. Or, well, what it said in the press release is that they are going to be bringing in new personalities. So maybe they're just going to be, testing new people in those spots. But it's not going to be the same.
You know who else did that, and it kind of pissed me off? Do you watch Cracked?
No.
Oh, they have a show called After Hours on the Cracked channel, and they brought like 4 new people into this show that I've been subscribed to for a couple years now, and it's like it's going to be difficult to see these other people trying to do this show. But anyway, sorry. Damn, that kind of fucking sucks.
Yeah.
I think I'm sad about it.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, you know what? Speaking of being sad,
No Mercy. No,
there's
some
things
things
I'm
in No
happy
Mercy
about.
I'm looking forward to.
For sure.
Don't see with Ed gone, we can't be the negative show now.
We're not. We're very
We're not.
positive. We were talking very good things about The Miz and his baby.
Talking about how much I love Jinder's theme song.
Yeah, see?
Positive.
That's a positive.
Let's just rip through No Mercy real quick. I don't even want us to get into detail for each match.
All right, well, start it up. Let's go.
So,
Start
the
from
women's
top of the
title
card
match.
or the bottom?
Let's just go. I'm just bringing up it on Wikipedia, and we'll go from there. How about that?
All right, fuck it.
Women's title match, 5-way. Alexa defending the title against Sasha, Bailey, Nia Jackson, Emma. Who's winning?
Bailey.
Really?
Yep.
No.
I know, right? It's gonna swerve you all.
No. I think Alexa's retaining, and Emma's taking the fall.
I'm going with Bailey after a Bailey heel turn, and she aligns
Bailey
herself
heel turn.
with Nia Jax.
All right. IC title match. Miz with the Miztourage taking on Jason Jordan, who wins.
Jason Jordan wins with interference from Kurt Angle.
Ooh.
Setting up Miz versus Kurt
I hate your picks right now.
Angle.
Miz retains. Jason Jordan puts up a good fight and loses in a valiant effort. And he's going to get another rematch probably the fucking next night on Raw.
All right.
All right. Enzo Amore challenging for the Cruiserweight Championship against Neville. Oh.
Enzo wins.
Oh,
debuts
fuck.
his cheetah print belt on Monday.
Like a cheetah print belt. God damn
Cool
it.
emoji nameplates.
Ah.
Yep. And maybe so it'll be a poo emoji on one side and the
Certified
jump.
G on the other.
Either that or the jump man. The
Fuck.
microphone jump man.
Oh my god. I hate it so much, but I know it's going to happen, so I'm just going to go with Enzo.
Hey.
Yeah, I know.
We agree on something.
Bray Wyatt versus Finn Balor. And I know as
Finn.
soon as I said Finn Balor, a certain Twitter follower and friend of the show just
Eggs just dropped.
Just splash. Go ahead. Who's winning?
I'm going with Finn.
Finn?
He better win. But, geez, I'm really tired of seeing Bray Wyatt lose.
I'm going with Bray.
You're going with Bray, really?
I'm going with Bray. Because
so then they're going to have another match, and then he's going to have to bring the demon back out?
They don't need to. They really don't.
See, that's the whole thing.
I know, but this whole, I don't need the paint, I don't need blah, 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 that's why I feel like Bray's going to win.
Right, but that's the point. Like he's saying, I don't need the paint, and if he loses, then he needs the fucking paint. So will that make him just be the demon all the time?
I don't know.
Yeah. Who cares? Wait, no, we're positive.
Positive.
I really believe that Finn Balor is going to retain and prove to Bray Wyatt that he does not need the demon. Because if the man created the demon, what does that say about the man? Wow.
Deep,
brother. Okay.
All right, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, defending their tag team championships.
I knew it was coming, but it was still funny to hear it.
Not the Shield, defending their titles against Cesaro and Sheamus. Who's winning?
Wunderbar.
We are the bar.
The bar. Yes, I'm going to go with. Honestly, I think I'm going to go with a retain and let them move on to beef with someone else. Hopefully, the Revival.
I'm going to go with Ambrose and Cesaro. Or Ambrose.
Wait. Are they going to turn on each other's partners?
Yes. Ambrose is going to turn. Or no, Seth's going to turn on Ambrose. He's going to walk out. Cesaro's going to feel bad, realize he's tag teaming with Sheamus and hate himself for it. And he's going to join Ambrose.
Ridiculous.
Ambrose and Seth win. Cena versus Roman. Who's winning?
Jeez.
If you say anything other than Roman Reigns, I will punch you in the throat.
No, because of reasons I said before about them trying to prolong this. I think they're gonna put Cena over at the pay-per-view because it's a lower tiered pay-per-view, and then they'll put Roman over at a bigger pay-per-view. So I still feel like Cena's gonna inch out the first one, and then they'll push the feud longer. Roman is gonna probably end up turning heel, maybe, and then he'll beat him at Survivor Series.
Wow, that was a long, drawn-out answer when you could have just fucking...
All right, Cena wins.
There you go. Good job. Proud of you. And the main event, Brock Lesnar defending the Universal Championship against Braun Strowman. Who's winning?
Braun.
I'm going to go with Brock. Brock is winning, and then he's going to take his,
take his
several
ball and
time
go
a year
home.
Vacation and go home with the belt for a few months and come back after Rumble.
I think that exact thing is going to happen, but it's going to be because Braun wins and he put a beating on him so bad that he's not going to be able to return until after the Rumble. or return at the Rumble, win the Rumble, and then it'll be Braun versus Brock at WrestleMania. Cliff called it.
I've called it. All right. Do you want to get to some questions real quick?
Let's get to it.
WNA mailbag questions.
Mailbag.
Very good. First question coming from, oh God, and he is a big fan of ours, listens all the time, and we interact with him on Twitter all the time. And if I fuck up his last name, I'm going to feel real bad. So I'm going to try anyways. RJ Krasinski at RJKRUSZYNSKI10 at Twitter asks, if you could make a faction of all singles wrestlers from any time period, who would you pick? Because we're running out of time, do you want to take this one or do you want me to?
I mean, well, explain that question first, because just like any group of wrestlers ever?
The way it says, if you could make a faction of all singles wrestlers from any time period, who would you pick?
Holy shit.
I know.
That's a
time to prepare for that one.
Yeah, that's a question that you can't just answer, because I'm just going to start sprouting off some old random ass. It's got to be Doink, the Boogeyman, fucking Papa Shango,
the Brood. And we're going to call him Dungeon of Doom 2K17.
No, I can't. I would love to answer that question, but I don't feel like I will give it the proper justice. So I will let you take that one if you feel so free.
See, I'm in the same boat as you. That one I'd want to think about and explain why.
Yeah.
So
let's
just
table that one.
Let's table that one till next week, shall we?
That's
and go on to his next question. RJ. Yeah, RJ, we're going to use that question next week because we want to give that some thought.
Yeah, we want to
but you had another question that I know I already can think of a couple answers. Best IC and US champ to never win a world title.
To never win a world title.
I could think of one right off the top of my head. And he was both an IC and a US champ in WCW. Kurt Hennig.
Ah, yeah, definitely.
Mr. Perfect should have been a world champion.
Wait, he never even won the WCW World Championship?
Nope.
Wait a minute. For some reason I just have this image in my head of Kurt Hennig holding the big gold belt.
Well, then you were probably high.
Probably.
Because it never happened.
Wow. Well, then that's my answer. Because I was going to say some shit like fucking Zack Ryder.
What?
You know, I don't have just a fucking encyclopedia knowledge of title reigns and history.
Damn right you don't.
Like you do, you son of a bitch.
Damn right you don't.
But I was just thinking of recent history, like Rusev. Like, my brain doesn't really go past like 3 years.
I was just thinking of Rusev.
Yeah, every 3 years, my brain just kind of dumps all of the previous
resets.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah. That's what happens when you do a lot of drugs in college, kids.
Don't do them.
Yeah. Next question.
All right. Coming to us from the Mr. MMA Action podcast at Mr._MMACTION. Favorite ECW pay-per-view and match?
Favorite ECW pay-per-view and match. It has to be a match from said pay-per-view?
I don't think necessarily. Mine is the same pay-per-view. I'll go with mine first while you think.
All right.
Okay. My favorite ECW pay-per-view was Heatwave 98. Had a bunch of cool matches on there. Had a Masato Tanaka Mike Awesome match, which those matches are fucking great all the time. Just plunder and nonsense and, 800 chair shots that I'm sure had a great effect on those gentlemen. Rest in peace, Mike Awesome. But I was also, and still am, kind of a mark for Hayabusa. And that pay-per-view had Hayabusa and Jinsei Shinzaki taking on Rob Van Dam and Sabu for the tag titles. But my favorite match... Oh, see, I was just getting ready to say it, and now I'm like, well, maybe that's not my favorite match. One of my favorite ECW matches, because I'm a massive ECW fan. From that pay-per-view was the Falls Count Anywhere match between Taz and Bam Bam Bigelow.
Oh yeah, that the one where you went through the fucking ring or the.
I believe that one was the one where they went through the ramp.
The ramp, yeah, that's what I meant.
But now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, I'm like, man, maybe my favorite ECW match, just because of the sheer, like, you watch it and you're going, oh God, why am I watching this? Is the Born to Be Wired Sabu and Terry Funk.
Holy shit, yeah, that was
barbed wire match where they get so tangled in the barbed wire that they have to stop the match and go to the finish. Do you have one, or do you want to go on to his next question? Because his next question is specifically for you.
Just for me?
Just for you.
Well, then I will just go to that, because I will tell you that, once again, I couldn't pull an ECW pay-per-view out of my ass if you asked me to, which you just did. And, yeah. My favorite ECW
fan,
pay-per-view is December to Dismember.
That Elimination Chamber match with the weapons was amazing. And you had those ECW, heroes like Eminem on the show.
Yeah. And my favorite ECW match was the one where Sandman hit that guy with a cane.
That one.
Drank beer. Remember, he drank beer on his way to the ring, and he smoked
I remember
cigarettes?
that one time.
And then he hit the one guy. He's kind of tall but kind of short.
Now, was that the one where after he drank the beer, he smashed the can on his head until he bled?
Yes, that's exactly.
It was that match, right?
It was that one.
It was that one.
During the match,
was this when he was wearing the American flag Zubaz pants? Or
yes, and he did that really awkward, but like probably one of the best moonsaults ever.
I don't believe Sandman has ever done a moonsault.
Yeah,
maybe by accident
that
when he
one
tripped
time.
And fell out of the ring.
He did that one time.
Oh, okay, that one time. All right, well, Mr. MMA Action's question for you, Clifford L.
I need to get these questions ahead of time. First,
I'm sorry?
I need to get these questions ahead of time so that I can prepare.
If they were on the outline, bitch.
I don't read the outline. The outline reads
you
me.
bitch when you don't get one, and then you get one and you say you don't
read
read
the outline. The outline reads me.
What the fuck does that mean?
Continue.
What has been Cliff's favorite Maurice moment?
Ooh. Now that is a question that I could definitely ask or answer.
And I told him I'm sure he has a few, and probably some that he needs to keep to himself, because I don't want to lose an eye.
Oh, no. You're going to lose the eye all the way in Michigan because of my powerful PVE.
PVE? Coming to a t-shirt shop near you?
Coming to a t-shirt shop near you. That's actually my favorite Maurice moment. She's had a bunch of nice moments. But it's probably anytime she enters the ring. Like, I don't know if I could really single out.
I was going to say, that's like picking your favorite child.
Yeah, it's like, it's amazing. gonna go with that one time she got in the ring and she was
Oh,
sexy.
that one time and looked sexy.
Yeah, the one time she did the flip the hair thing.
Oh, that time.
Yeah, that time, the one when she did that,
That time she did it and the hair with
and
the
the
flip.
hair flipped up
and
like
she winks.
perfectly, and she winked, and then she
Yeah.
spoke with this really, really like beautiful, sexy French Canadian accent.
Okay.
Yeah,
I remember that time.
That's my favorite Maurice moment of all time.
All right, our buddies at the Brocast, at the Brocast, and that is Brocast spelled Brokast. My favorite Australians, aside from Peyton Royce and Billy Kay.
I hope they realize that their name sounds very eerily similar to Brocast.
Brocast. The Brocast podcast. We ain't got no money.
Right.
They asked, and this is probably another one like RJ where we got to think about it. Overall favorite wrestler and why, and overall least favorite wrestler and why.
I don't think I need time for that.
You don't? Please take it.
My favorite wrestler of all the times is. God damn it! I guess you're right. All the times.
Overall favorite wrestler and why. See,
all
to
the
me,
times.
to pick a favorite wrestler is like it
yeah.
depends on the mood I'm in.
Yeah, that's it. That's not like which is your favorite child. That's like, hey, which one of your children do you want to shoot in the face?
Wow, took it dark.
Very dark. That's why it's so hard to pick, because like, who wants to shoot their kids in the face?
I mean, if you're talking like, you want to see, a masterful heel at work, well, then you watch Ric Flair. If you want to see, an athletic match and watch somebody bump their ass off, then you're talking about Shawn Michaels. If you're talking about you want to see, just a technical clinic with great storytelling and psychology, well, now you're talking about Bret Hart. You can. It's hard to pick one. I don't know that I ever really could. Like I always say, Eddie Guerrero's my favorite wrestler because, he was fantastic to watch in the ring. And then you found out years later when he was in WWE that, wow, he was actually kind of funny and entertaining and charismatic. But that wasn't why he was my favorite wrestler. You know what I mean? Like it was hard to pinpoint why. Like I would always watch an Eddie Guerrero match. But I don't know if he's my overall favorite,
Yeah, it's very different.
I mean, least favorite, I could give you an answer.
Can you?
You know the answer. It's been my answer for many years.
Billy Gunn?
Billy Gunn.
For sure.
Billy Gunn. I don't know why. Just one day, I realized I fucking hate Billy Gunn. I would hate when he would get pushed. I would hate, when he'd be in the ring. He's a damn good wrestler, though. But there's something about Billy Gunn that, like, I don't know. Billy Gunn is my least favorite wrestler.
Man, why don't I just have this stuff at the hip anymore? Because I used to. If I would say my favorite wrestler of all the times, through thick and thin, if I could only watch one person wrestle for the rest of my life, it would be Shawn Michaels. For sure.
Okay. There you go.
It would be Shawn Michaels. I've never, ever watched a Shawn Michaels match and thought, nah, it was okay. Even the matches that were okay were still better because he was in them. Like, even the fucking DX versus the Spirit Squad was still a pretty fucking good match. I'm going to go with Shawn Michaels. Favorite wrestler. Hands down. Fight me.
All right.
My least favorite wrestler.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to step on your
Thanks
nuts.
a lot, guy. My least favorite wrestler, Robb.
All right. Glad you feel that way.
Yeah.
Good thing I didn't, try to do that.
No, you did, and that's why you're my least favorite.
Okay, cool. Final question comes from our good old boy Bruce Keyser, a Bruce @ my name is Bruce on Twitter. What exactly is John Cena's character, and why does he dress like the world's largest toddler?
John Cena's character is white guy.
White guy?
White guy. White
Who
guy
stands for truth, justice, and the American way?
Yeah. White guy who doesn't know he's white.
Oh.
He's like the opposite of remember the Dave Chappelle skit about the black white supremacist?
Oh my God.
He's the opposite of that.
So he's
He's the
oh my
white,
God.
the white black supremacist.
Oh my God. I don't know if that works. I mean, that might be pushing it too far down those racial lines. I'm kind of hurt that you're talking this way.
And why is that, Rob?
Well, as we've talked about before, I'm against any of this racial discrimination and bigotry because I can see things from both perspectives now that I know that I'm 1% North African.
Gotcha. And you know what? My
And
apologies.
that,
I was insensitive.
things happen.
I was being insensitive, and I apologize.
Okay. We're brothers after all. Okay.
Amazing.
That fist up. No? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So I think it's about time we move on to our Make It Work segment. And before we do that,
We need a chant right
exactly. We do. We need to make a chant and put it in.
there. Yes.
So before we get into it, when we had Ed around, we had that second person.
Third.
We need another person.
Rob can't count.
There you go. that sultry voice you heard is Leo Mainville from the S Marks the Spot podcast, fellow PWO member, Leo. What's going on, buddy?
Oh, dude. Faux life. I'm doing good, guys. I'm finally really excited to be on the show, So I think last time I tried to get on, like, I probably passed out from too much video gaming. 'Cause that's what I do on a daily basis is just play video games and work and hang out with my girlfriend and watch wrestling and podcast.
So you're like the perfect replacement for Ed right now.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah. I'll take it, dude.
We got rid of one stoner. We need a new one.
Well, thanks for having me, guys. Ed, if you're listening, sorry, spot's taken, bruh. I got it.
Ooh.
I got to get on these little quips and jabs. I mean, I feel left out when you and Wretched are, like broing out and hating each other and loving each other at the same time. And I'm like, oh, I'm over here in the corner. Oh, I want some loving too, guys, and I fucking hate you, but I love you guys.
You guys don't want to be my friends.
But yeah, anyway, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it, and I'm really excited to hear how you guys are gonna make it work.
Yeah,
I'm really excited to hear it because it's been way too fucking long now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I think
know.
it's kind of unfair that you got an extra week to make it work.
Oh, trust me, I don't think I'm gonna knock it out of the park here. Okay.
Just saying, you had an extra week.
So
I think I actually lost a day because we recorded 6 days. Just saying, that's why I wasn't prepared.
Oh, that was your reason?
Exactly.
That was your reason that you gave a shitty ass Duke the Dumpster Drosy?
Hey. It worked.
In your mind, it worked.
I don't want to hear it. It worked.
Okay, so Leo, you listen to the show, you kind of know what the Make It Work segment is, but I'm going to go over it one more time because Cliff and Ed seemingly don't really know what this is.
Okay.
The Make It Work segment is...
I know what it is, damn it.
Okay, all right. I'm going to finish now. The Make It Work segment is when you are given a shitty gimmick that is voted on by the listeners, and you then have to modernize it and bring it into today's WWE and see if you can make it work. And your peers will be the judge.
Awesome.
If it does not work, you lose, and it is a group consensus for the next person up what gimmicks are going to be used.
Ooh, okay.
But if you win and you did get approval, you then get to stick it to the next person by picking the 3 bad gimmicks that the listeners will vote on.
Nice. I like it.
So Ed...
Sounds a little convoluted, like an Impact Wrestling match.
There you go. Like a reverse ladder match
A lot
or
of
battle
rules
royal.
here.
There's penalty boxes.
King of the
and-
mountain of gimmicks. Yeah. Okay. Continue.
Yeah. So Ed won by DQ because I wanted to vote no, and Cliff voted yes for his shitty Bastion Booger.
It's weird that you can win by a DQ in this kind of a little segment of a match. There's got to be no.
Well, he dared me to come up with something better,
Okay.
and I couldn't.
Okay.
And he couldn't.
So.
Oh, by default.
So I know it's been a few
he had to
weeks.
change his vote.
I know it's been a few weeks, but what were the choices given to the people in social media land to choose from?
Well, the choices were the Dungeon of Doom, the Dynamic Dudes, and the winner of the poll,
Oh,
the Dicks.
Yes, that's the one I voted for. And now I get to judge it. Ah!
Yes.
It's glorious.
So I am now forced to find a way to bring back the Dicks.
Oh, this is fantastic.
So-
I'm so glad I'm here.
I thought you were going to say
Here's where-
to make the dicks work.
I did say that. I tweeted that out yesterday during Raw.
Yeah,
I
you did.
said, at that Robb guy tomorrow has to find a way to make the Dicks work. Oh, wait, I said that wrong.
Oh, that is fantastic.
So a little history lesson. I get to nerd out here and talk about the Dicks. Chad and James Dick were played by Chad Wicks, 5'9", 235 pounds, formerly known as the lifesaver Billy Kryptonite. He was a lifeguard.
Okay.
Got his start in chaotic wrestling. James Dick was played by John Tank Toland, all of 5'4", 225 pounds. Trained in the Monster Factory. The two of them teamed together in OVW as the Blonde Bombers. They eventually made their way up to the main roster. Debuted on SmackDown October 14th, 2005 as the Dicks. They made their in-ring debut on Velocity on November 5th. Their SmackDown debut, defeating the LOD on November 25th.
Jeez.
And then after that, they were on Velocity up until February 24th, 2006, where they lost a handicap match to the Boogeyman and then were released. So they basically made it. They basically made it about 5 months
Wow.
before they were done.
Did they have
So the
like
Dick's
did they have like
gimmick-
vests? Did they have like vests and shit? Or I can't. I'm trying to even remember what they looked like.
Well, they were 2 small guys that were just jacked.
Okay.
They wore suspenders and pants, no shirts. I believe they had bow ties. I don't remember.
Okay, I think I do remember bow ties being a part of it. They look like ex-Chippendale dancers.
Correct.
Yeah,
that was the
yeah.
gimmick.
That's right.
They were Chippendales. They were like strippers. They came to the ring with baby oil. And they would spray it all over themselves and spray it in the eyes of their opponents.
Wow.
That was the gimmick.
So you guys are going to try to make this work in the modern era of wrestling? Is that what we're trying to do?
That's what I have to do.
Okay.
That's what he has to.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
We'll see. I fucking doubt it, but we'll see.
I don't know. Rob is known for a silver tongue, so I have faith in him.
He's known for a brown.
Hey, appreciate that, buddy. That's right.
Gross.
Get in deep. All right. Oh, fuck.
Robb English. Make it work.
Okay. So, my idea for the dicks. First off, they're not strippers. Okay.
Okay.
We're taking the Chippendales stripper aspect out of it. But they are going to be douchey, meathead bodybuilders.
So they're going to be dicks.
Yes. And their names will still be the Dicks.
Okay.
And that plays into it a little bit. Okay.
All right.
So, like I said, douchey bodybuilder types, the kind of guys that, I won't go as far as to say Jersey Shore type guys, but a little bit. Okay.
Okay.
The kind of guys that spend the majority of their time at the clubs or the bars, doing nothing but trying to pick up chicks and bet them and forget them. Okay. Overly impressed with their physiques, with their clothes, with everything. Just real douchey guys.
I'm waiting with bated breath.
So, in my mind, the guys who I'm picturing for this are in NXT.
Okay.
Tino Sabatelli and Riddick Moss. So you see what I'm picturing.
Yes, okay.
Overly muscled, douchey looking. They were probably the guy that peaked in high school, captain of the football team, was a rock star, but never quite made it. So I'm going to go into pro wrestling because I'm 6'5" and jacked.
Word.
Good looking guys can try to steal your chick right out from under you, in front of you, and dare you to do something about it.
Dicks.
Dicks. Right?
Yeah.
Now, their names are still going to be Chad and James Dick. And the reason why I want to keep those names is not just because it's something for the crowd to chant, "You are dicks. You are dicks." But because it's something that has bothered them their entire lives. My last name is English. It's not a common name, but it's something that people used to pick on me for. It was the dumbest thing to do.
Really?
But they would use it to try to pick on me.
Really?
I got picked on
Yeah.
for being Clifford, so
There you go.
Shut your mouth.
Red dog.
Nobody called you Robert the Big Red Dog.
True.
Cliff wins that one.
So, all right. So they keep the names, and it's something that bothered them because whenever somebody would use the name against them, it would set them off. Especially James, because everybody would call him Jimmy Dick.
Jimmy Dick.
Jimmy is the hair trigger of the brothers. Like, what's up, little Jimmy? Little Jimmy Dick. I don't know if we would still use the baby oil. I kind of want to, but I'm gonna say no.
I'd say if they used it, they should use it just like not bringing it out to the ring, but just be covered in it already. Like just be super
at all
slick,
times,
shiny guys. Yeah, I just see them like
just
shining.
a sheen.
Yeah,
just a sheen all over them. Maybe even one sprays it on the other on the way to the ring and rubs it in.
Oh, that's awesome.
I don't know. I kind of feel like that's it. I might be thrown in the towel. Hang on. Hold on. See, I was prepared with Mantar. I had everything down. I had questions ready to answer, but I can't with the dicks.
Oh man. Honestly,
okay.
Honestly, for right now where you're at, I like it. I want to see where it goes because I feel like there's more in you, Rob. I know there is. Yeah, you got more dick in you, man, and you got to let it out.
It's hard. It hurts.
Oh.
I mean,
sound like someone fell on the floor just now. A little bit too much dick in them.
A little too much. I mean, when you get all this dick in you and you're trying hard to let it out, but you're scared. I mean, I got dicks all over me right now, and
you just been thinking about thinking about dicks for days.
Weeks even.
Weeks.
Okay, so they make their main roster debut as the Dicks. We'll get some vignettes. We'll get some vignettes of them working out in the gym.
The Dicks are coming to Raw.
You stole my fucking joke.
Oh, that's incredible.
It's just them working out in the gym, screaming at each other, "You can go harder than that! Go harder! Go harder!" Push it in there. And then it fades to black, white letters. The Dicks are coming.
Yes.
And then there's a pause, and then the Raw logo just comes up.
Raw. There you go. So they make their Raw debut. They've came. When they come to the ring, Corey Graves, the Dicks have came.
The Dicks have come.
We're never gonna be the same. There's dicks all over this arena. Look at them chanting.
Holy shit.
So they have their debut against the Hardys. The Hardys are still, the Hardys you're seeing every week on Raw.
I still can't get over the fact
after
that
a
they're
match
the
where they
Hardys.
win with a roll up, holding the tights. The Dicks aren't done. Oh no. The Dicks are about to get real rough. with the Hardys.
Oh, yeah.
They lay out the ref. They lay out Jeff Hardy. Matt's all alone with two dicks. They set him up for their finish, but before they do that, they lay a steel chair in the ring. And their finish is the old Vegematic, where you hold the guy like a bear hug and you lean him back a little bit, and the other guy comes off the top rope with a leg drop.
The Vegematic?
We're going to call it the dick dropper.
No.
The bear.
Got a better one.
Oh,
Please.
What you got, Cliff? What you got?
It's a assisted spike pile driver, and they'll call it the double penetration.
Either way, the move is delivered on a steel chair to Matt's head. Okay?
Got it.
Matt suffers an episode due to this head trauma. And he becomes broken.
Broken by the dicks.
Broken by the dicks.
Yes.
What a way to get him over with the crowd.
Oh, that's
They
incredible.
brought the broken Matt out. Now, they're not done.
Oh, good.
They pull out the baby oil. Here's Matt, laid out, injured. They bring Jeff in the ring. They hit him with the move and then tie him up in the ropes. One dick is holding Matt and making him watch, while the other dick grabs that bottle of baby oil, shakes it up in front of him, and squirts. Squirts the baby oil all in Jeff's face, eyes, neck, and chest.
Oh, please tell me he
Jeff
throws him
is
the
now
towel.
blinded by the dicks
Oh, my God.
and their release.
Oh.
The Hardys are left broken. The dicks have come. And that, my friend, is how you bring the dicks back. I believe I made it work.
That's me applauding. I'm standing doing that. That was wonderful.
Oh, God.
Dude, that was
All
great.
right.
That was great.
So let's go to the judges. Leo.
We're going to go to Leo first.
What say
Leo.
you?
What say
Did
you?
Robb make the dicks work?
Let's see. Can I get a drum roll, please?
Hold on.
What the fuck was that?
There's sound effects here. I
It's
gotta.
not even a drum roll. That's a rim shot, you fucker.
Okay, wait. I got something better. Since we're speaking about dicks,
Charge?
Leo,
Yeah. Oh, okay.
did it work?
Oh, dude, you totally made it work. You absolutely fucking made it work. It was incredible.
Yes.
Yes. I gotta say, dude, that was a lot of thought and planning went into that. I know that
Because
for
he
a
had
fact.
extra time.
Yeah, still. I am so glad I voted for the dicks in that little poll on Twitter, and I'm glad it won. Because that was awesome.
Jeez.
That's a yes?
Yes.
There we
One
go.
Yes. From Leo.
Cliff, what say you?
What the fuck?
Did he make it work?
If you don't cut that bullshit off,
I'm sorry.
I am going to go, and I'm going to have to say that you totally did not. You did not make that work. Because all you did was you took the bromans and you brought them to WWE.
Oh, that's hurtful.
Mm.
That's hurtful.
Oh, you felt that in the dicks, didn't you?
Right in the dick.
I did.
It was totally the bromans.
Wasn't there something like one thing when you were explaining it? One thing that I remembered was what was the tag team of Billy Gunn and
Chuck Palumbo?
Yeah. That's what it started to kind of
Billy
remind
and
me of.
Chuck.
Yeah, Billy and Chuck, and then they got married, didn't they?
No,
They
they
were
were
gonna.
supposed to get married.
That's right.
And
Yeah,
then they backed out at the last minute.
because they're dicks.
Because they're dicks. Okay.
So
In
wait,
real life.
so there's two judges then. Is there a third judge? Because two judges doesn't make sense when there's only three people.
So that's
it's,
a problem.
It's basically what it is that I or whoever's the second judge, if it's a split, then the other person has to make it work. And if they can't, it's basically a by default victory, like Ed got.
Okay, gotcha.
And since I can't think of anything else,
You can't beat it, dude. You can't beat that, man.
Although I did come up with a better finisher.
Okay. I was gonna say I wanted to interject in the finisher, but you beat me to it. Cliff the Big Red Dog. Ooh, jabs are thrown. Anyway, I'm just kidding. Anyway, you could have.
Whatever happened to that Leo guy?
He's vanished. Apparently he was a huge dick. No, Rob, I like the finisher. I liked how it looked in my head, but the name should have been called the bareback.
Yeah,
There you
bareback.
bareback.
The way he's holding him with the bear hug, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other guy kind of jumps from the top rope into a leg drop, slides on his back, bareback. I just put a lot of thought into that just now.
I've got another one. It's going to be almost a 3D.
Okay.
But instead of a cutter, he catches him into a face buster.
Ooh.
And they call that the Devil's Threesome.
The Devil's Threesome? Why is it gotta be the devil? I didn't think they were in the ministry of the corporate ministry, you know.
Oh shit.
Midian and Viscera over here.
No, you went in a direction that direction that I didn't think you were gonna go.
Oh yes.
So by default, I think you made it work.
Yeah, you did.
There we go.
Now, Rob, now I see why you brought me onto the show, because you knew, as being a positive podcaster as I am, you knew I was going to go with it.
You could have said anything.
Don't. Yeah, don't.
I mean, you know what? No.
I'm not giving him any reason. Not giving him any reason to try to shoot down my victory. Victory is
Hey,
sweet, and I will take it.
Revel in it.
you will take it, just like you took the dicks.
You worked long and hard to get the dicks.
I got them dicks working, is what I did.
See, how many dick jokes can we have before the end of this? Jeez. Who's gonna manage the dicks?
Rob, I didn't know you had a PhD, man.
I do.
You pretty hard dick.
Oh.
That's where the rim shot.
That's where the rim shot. Yeah,
I'm slacking. I'm slacking. Hold on. Say it again, Leo.
Rob, I didn't know you had a PhD. Pretty hard dick. Thank you.
You're welcome.
He's here all week. Make sure to tip your waitresses
Always
and
20%.
your barkeeps.
Always 20%.
Jeez.
All right.
If you get drunk, give me 40%.
All right, you son of a bitch. So what's
So that means I get to pick what Cliff
Gimmicks
has
for
to do next week.
I get 2 weeks.
No, you don't.
I made the rules.
I had 2 weeks only because we had a loss in our podcast family.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Well, we're gonna have another one.
Rob's going to be doing the podcast next week by himself. Cliff need to take some time off so he can think of how he's going to make it work next week.
You need to take a week off, and then he'll come back next week. Solo dolo for you, buddy.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
All right.
WCW
So the
this week.
gimmicks. We didn't pick one before we started recording.
Well, we need to right now. Shayla, bam,
Shayla Hyde.
bam,
Fly with the Witch, ladies and gentlemen. Shayla Hyde,
champion.
our first ever guest on the show. Actually, she lost her title recently.
Did she? No.
She got cheated. They took her out on a stretcher.
Damn.
Yeah.
I missed that one.
Yeah.
I gotta
That's
stay
okay.
closer to my
I told
Twitter.
her that if she needs help, all she's got to do is reach out, and we will show up.
I will
have a crew.
come steal chairs of swinging.
There you go. Shayla Hyde, our WCW.
WCW.
Mm-hmm.
So the gimmicks that Cliff has to do next week are the wrestling dentist, Isaac Yankum, DDS.
Oh, gross.
Got that. Got
Okay.
that.
You think you do?
Yep.
Okay. The next gimmick, the mime/magician, Fantasio. You like
Okay.
that one?
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I hear you.
All right. The final gimmick, reaching to WCW on this one. Hole in one, Barry Darso, the wrestling golfer.
Oh, my God.
Oh man.
Oh, I
You
cannot
know what?
wait.
Though?
Yeah.
I had 3 things pop into my head immediately for all those guys. So I think
Oh,
I'll be able to
bullshit.
do that. No, so I'm so serious. I'm so serious. I think I'll be able to make either one of those work.
All right, well, now we have
Pretty
Leo on
good.
the show,
Pretty good.
and we're wrapping things up, so it only makes sense with Leo here. Leo, plug your show.
So yeah, guys, if you love these dudes because they're hilarious and awesome, you can also check myself, Leo Mainville, and Joshua Brown at S Marks a Spot Wrestling Podcast. You can find us on Twitter at SmarkSpot. You can listen to us on Podbean, iTunes, and Google Play. Just search S Marks the Spot Podcast. Guys, thanks for having me on. I really do appreciate it. This was a blast.
We appreciate you having.
Absolutely. We appreciate you coming
appreciate
on.
Appreciate you having.
Right? Hashtag
Appreciate you.
PWO.
Appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to
Oh
come
yeah, my
hang out with us.
super busy schedule of video gaming, drinking coffee, and having a good time.
Got a very nice speaking voice there, Leo.
No, thanks,
Doesn't
man.
he?
Thanks.
That's one thing. Whenever I listen to their show, I'm like, man, Josh and Leo got some sexy voices.
We're equally sexy men. What could we say?
Coming soon
Speaking
today
of-
on the smart.
Dude, I swear, ever since I dominated puberty, everyone's told me I have a voice for radio.
For sure.
He dominated puberty.
Dominated puberty.
Yeah.
Handled it like a champ.
Dude, I only had it for like 24 hours and it was over.
Wow.
Nah, no, it was more like 2 years, but whatever.
Well, thanks for coming on, Leo.
No
Thanks
problem.
a lot, Leo.
I appreciate it, guys. You ever need me on again, just you know where to find me.
Most definitely, brother.
All right.
EPWO.
Too sweet.
Life.
So thanks to Leo for coming on the show. And right about now, we're going to start plugging some of our friends in the PWO and otherwise. And when I say otherwise, I'm talking about our boys over at the Home Video Hustle podcast. You know, that show, Cliff, you listened to their most recent one, didn't you?
My new favorite fucking show of all times. Fucking PJ.
All
and
the
Rick
times.
are hysterical, and I'm listening to every fucking thing now.
Well, there you go. So yeah, if you're looking for that fun random movie review show, the way they do it, they put couple movies in the bags, and PJ pulls one at random, and that's the one that they review each week. Yeah, it's got an R&B hip hop influence to it. Brent and PJ, they love to throw out their little references to songs and everything, which cracks me up. But yeah, they'll make you laugh. They'll make you feel like you're part of the conversation. One of my favorite weekly shows to listen to right now. So thanks for all the love and support, guys. You can find the Home Video Hustle on iTunes, Podbean, and YouTube. You can also follow them on Twitter at capital H, capital V, capital H, capital P, Oddcast. That's how they do it on their show. You like that?
Mark.
Sorry. And moving on to our PWO brothers, you already heard from Leo on the S Marks the Spot podcast. Let's talk about the Wretched Wrestling podcast, the drunken ramblings of Craig J. Dixon, and the ambiguous sexuality of Fred Robinson. A little bit of shock jock, inappropriate humor mixed with your wrestling. What's wrong with that? You can find him on iTunes, Podomatic, and Stitcher. You can also follow him on Twitter at Wretched Wrestle. Our buddies over at Raw's Bore, they cover a little bit of everything, but you already can tell listening to that title what they think of WWE. They cover the indies. They cover a lot of Global Force / Impact. A lot of that love.
Global Force Impact.
Global Force Impact. You can check them out on iTunes or any of your podcatcher apps. You can also find them on Twitter at Raw is Bore. I believe they're also on Stitcher and Google Play. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
but
know how you can find out.
Search it.
Google that shit.
There you go. Speaking of Google that shit, why don't you Google the Gimmick Table? They're shining a light and promoting indie talent from around the country. They give great interviews. They got great guests. And they got a little bit of a challenge right now. If they can get up to 10,000 downloads, our good old buddy Tectonic is going to come out there and put Matt, the host, through a table. So if you want to see a hipster go through a table, a vegan hipster, you better start downloading this show. But if you want to peek behind the curtain of what's going on with independent wrestling from the guys that do it, you want to find them on iTunes, Stitcher, and YouTube. You can also follow them on Twitter at gimmick_table. And then I'm going to give some love to our buddies at the Brocast. Two brothers discussing video games, films, comic books, and pro wrestling each month. And hey, they're Australian. So you know you want to listen to it because everything sounds better with an Australian accent. You can find them on iTunes or Absolutely. Find them on iTunes or any of your podcatcher apps. You can also follow them on Twitter at the Brocast, not broke ass. The Brocast, spelled Brokast. You can follow us on Twitter at WNA Podcast. You can subscribe to us on YouTube, subscribe to us on iTunes, Podbean. You can find us on Google Play and Stitcher. Please, if you like the show, leave a review. 5 stars if you could. It helps us out. You can also find us on Facebook. You can go to our website, WrestlingNerdsAlliance.com, where all of our episodes are archived. You can follow me on Twitter at ThatRobbGuy. That's Rob with 2 B's. You can follow Cliff on Twitter at CliffDoesItAll.
Damn right. No longer.
Like a lady?
Well, I guess a lady does it all too, but
Oh, yeah, she does.
as of now, Cliff does everything on Instagram. Cliff does it all on Twitter.
And hey, if you want to support the show, go buy the official Wrestling Nerds Alliance t-shirt. You can find it at
shop.spreadshirt.com/stayred with 2 D's like a lady. Or as we found out earlier in our show, like the dicks.
Double Dicks. Man, this was a marathon show as I'm looking at the counter.
Bruh.
Gonna be a long bitch ass show.
See, you were talking all that shit. I ain't cutting this shit. We're gonna have a 3-hour show.
Well,
This is all your
if you're
fault,
still
Ed.
listening, yeah, sorry, Ed. Well, no, fuck Ed. He should have been here to stop us. If you're still listening, thank God you have the patience of not to be believed. It's incredible. And you sat through almost 3 hours of us talking non-fucking stop. And now it's time to go home.
I am Clifford L. Johnson.
And I'm Robb English saying to you, when life hands you adversity, always kick out at 2. Straight from the balls. Still going. Still going. Almost back. Oh, he's running out of gas.
You know, you've heard of the long arm of the law. The big boss man has the long hand of the law. That's what IRS told me. He can take more bribes from people that have parking trouble and ticketing here and there.
You should never talk about anybody having their hand out. You, of all people.
Now, come on. Let me tell you what IRS told me.
His IRS, he knows what he's talking about, does he?
He's never lied to me. He helped me with my taxes.
I bet he has.
$280 last year I had to pay.
With what you made last year?
A little steep. I know what you're saying, but I get the right
You
up.
paid $280? That's a travesty.
No.
Someone should really look into that.
No.
Alfred Hayes?
No.
I think
No,
that's
okay.
terrible. But then again, he's always like that. He's always telling fibs, lying. When do you ever tell the truth?
You're a good-looking guy.
What?
Lied again, didn't I?
Oh, let's take you to action. You sure did.
No, you
And
got it.
Involving the boss man and the warlord. Take a look at that
And
kiss.
I estimated those